GTA 6.
Four zero zero two two. That's the Navy bin. And you don't want to pay that flight, nigga. Pay me the alien. Not 4002. That's the Navy bin. Man, DC, what's that word at? Go to the mall with a couple capos and 100 fucking guns. Follow us for the game. Look over the drum. This bitch ain't never gonna stop. She loyal to the mob with a couple capos and 100 fucking guns. Call the slaughter gang. You get your shit popped. Draco with a drum. This bitch ain't never gonna stop. All right, weird. Let's see who up in here, man. My shit been dry. It's like when you stream every day, niggas don't want to pull up. What up, Chakra King? What's his name? Shakur King Black. What up, man? Let's get into these reactions, man. Start recording. She wanna make a movie, I record. That boy Famous Richard, man. That nigga been locked for 10 years. Nobody even thinking about it. That's what happens when you play woke, playing them games. All that playing woke shit, ain't it? Okay, so today we got Mudflood, Tartaria, Antarctica, Easter Island, but I want to start with Easter Island on up. Let's start with Easter Island on up.
I know, I have to go really fast. I mean, sure. And now this one. This one. Four Faces of Man, LPIN. This one's a very special one. This one was put in 22,500 BC by the Iani races. This was the period of time when the Iani massacre occurred because Thoth betrayed everybody. Now, if you look at the shape, does it remind you of anything? Just look at one of the faces. Yeah. Yeah, Easter Island was a main key point, and the people who lived on Easter Island that originally had put up those structures, there used to be lots more faces around the planet. It was in commemoration, almost like symbolizing that we are still here. Right. They were the Grail lines that put up these particular structures, and most of them were taken down. They were also frequency runners, all right? The rocks themselves, the carved faces themselves, the rocks, were frequency runners that plugged into this system.
I wouldn't be surprised. Everything built back then was built aligned with the frequency of the planet. Like, whoa. I ran out of that, but hella fast. Damn. Y'all ever look? I'm like, whoa.
The Four Faces of Man grid is really part of something called the Guardians of the 12 Pillars. Now notice the angle of the heads. These actually go out. They create pillars of sound and light. Man. They go out and connect to other things. The other things are, there's a Four Faces of Man grid in Inner Earth's Templar, and there's a Four Faces of Man grid in Parallel Earth's Templar. The Four Faces of Man altogether, on the three places, 3 times 4 is 12. They're called the Guardians of the 12 Pillars. Together, they generated enough frequency where the primal light and sound currents from the Kira-Shea and Kundera fields could literally be anchored to create a Trion-Miage field, light-sound barrier that would stop Earth from being drawn in, and Inner Earth from being drawn in.
So these Easter Island heads had frequency.
They've been watching
almost frequency generators. They had some type of tech to them.
The ocean for over 1,000 years, but most people have no idea what they're really looking at. They told us these were just statues, heads in the dirt,
hell no,
carved by a forgotten people, abandoned,
them shit's buried. Under. They buried.
But what if that's not the mystery? What if the real question is, why are they all looking in the same direction?
Oh wow.
On the slope of an ancient volcano on Easter Island, hundreds of these stone sentinels sit frozen in time. But if you stand behind them, right at the quarry where they were born, you'll notice something. They aren't facing each other. They're not turned toward the sunrise. They're aimed with mathematical precision across the open Pacific. And recently, that line of sight was traced. The statues aren't staring into nothing. They're aligned, perfectly, with something buried beneath the sea. About 900 kilometers away, deep under the ocean surface, there's a formation, not a crack, not a ripple, a structure, long straight corridors, sharp angles, massive, artificial. It doesn't look like nature made it, it looks like somebody left it behind. And the Moai, they're aimed right at it, not by accident, by design. You still think this was just ritual? You think ancient people just eyeballed this and got it right?
Fuck no.
Nah. They were tracking something, marking a memory, preserving a location. These weren't just statues. They were guardians, anchored to the earth, pointing toward what used to be above it.
Right.
See, the truth is...
And if y'all don't think that there used to be lands that were above water and now that are below and things are sunken, like, it's possible, man. It's very possible. You got to look into the land of Mu. There was supposed to be a landmass that's in between Europe and America that's not there no more.
Rapa Nui didn't forget. We did. They carved these watchers from stone, planted them in the earth, and fixed their gaze to what we now call a mystery. They knew what was out there, and what went down beneath the
Just
waves.
hey, I appreciate
They
it,
weren't
Melanin.
just
I
honoring
appreciate
the
it, bro.
past. They were leaving us the first node in a global map. So when you see those
I try not to
statues,
go too like. I try not to act like I know everything, like I knew everything on that interview. I just stuck to like what I know and the basis of what I knew. But I noticed when you start trying to dive into certain information, people be like, "Oh, leave it to the scholars, leave it to this." Like, you're not well studied and this and that. I'm just like, if y'all got that attitude about folks, ain't nobody gonna never want to speak up, or the youth ain't gonna never gonna want to look into, you know, information, whether it's forbidden, hidden,
again, don't just ask why they're buried.
secret
Ask
information, or
what they're
whatever.
trying to remind us of. Because out in the deep, under layers of silence and sediment, is a structure that still holds the question, what did the earth bury?
So it says not just statues, it's a map to what's under the ocean. The Moya weren't just statues, they were guardians. And they're still pointing at something. Somebody said Easter Island is a part of what is left of Lemuria. Bros on to nothing. They're facing the true north. Our planet is so weird and mysterious, and I hope we get the answers during our lifetime. We won't. Not if you don't go look for them. And when you go look for them, they keep hiding them behind puzzles. This is the main reason why I want to accumulate enough funds to be able to travel the world and basically look for the One Piece, bro. I need to. Okay, we already know that they erased timelines and periods on the timeline. You know, we went through plenty planetary resets. You got to think about it. Even when it comes to the world fairs in the 1900s, before the world fairs, it was all these fires, these great fires. All these fires and floods happen in every city in America. Nobody questions that shit. Every single city in America went through a fire or flood, and it destroyed hella buildings. Hella buildings. Who the fuck was putting all them buildings up if niggas was riding on horses and buggies and shitting on themselves? And enslaving people and slavery in America and Native Americans, tiki huts, all that fake ass Rothschild's history is cap. That Rockefeller Rothschild history, because you know Ghislaine Maxwell's father was helping stamp the books, the history books. So all this shit is like Smithsonian's, they capped out.
I know.
So we only know so
I've been
much.
trying to go to Easter Island for the last 10 years.
Can't get in?
Not only cannot get in, nobody's gonna get in now because somebody went there and lit that place on fire. They burned down the majority of the moai heads. They put some type of a chemical on the moais and lit that on fire, which melted solid stone. How do you get that much fuel, first of all, on the island? It's hard to get there. How do you get the fuel there? And whatever was added to this fuel, or whatever type of fuel it was, I mean, who had the approval to bring that kind of chemical through international waters onto that island to then have the time to put it on top of the stone,
right,
and then to actually light them all on fire?
It reminds you of the Georgia Guidestone situation. You know? Like the average person doing that, you probably would have been stopped. But if you're a government agent, or if you're an agent sent to do a mission, you're probably going to get away with it. Right?
There's no trees on Easter Island. There's nothing to keep the flames going. So somebody manually had to go and burn all these heads. So now with that being destroyed, and my biggest dream was to go there. I've been trying to go to Easter Island.
Somebody said, so I Googled, you could travel to Easter Island, it's just ridiculously expensive. So you could travel to the island, but he's saying no. Somebody said, I literally visited June this year. I don't know, this AI guy or just a liar. How was it and is it expensive? I would love to go. Yeah, I went there last month. Haha, guy's crazy. So yeah.
The Easter Island
You can go to Easter Island. So that video, I don't know what he's talking about.
It's one of the things they found, that the heads that are above the surface are just a tiny part of it. Do you think that it's just
Squidward House! Squidward House was a fucking Easter Island head. Hold on. I just watched a breakdown yesterday of how SpongeBob, like with the moment SpongeBob turned trash. I was watching that yesterday. And yeah, Squidward does live in an Easter Island house, doesn't he? A Moai head house. And he's an octopus.
natural erosion that covered up everything else?
It's not so much erosion, it's the deposition of sediment over time. And you can see the dark bit is the bit that was above ground. And then they dig down and they find that it goes down 30 feet underground. And this is not as a result of being exposed by erosion. This had to be excavated in order to reveal it. And the issue is, if this thing is only 700 years old, which is something that archaeologists often say, how do you get 30 feet of sedimentation on this time?
You know, Unc be playing around and shit like that. Like, no, don't get me wrong. I like to have fun and joke too. But Unc be on some shit like, I don't like confusion. You feel me? When niggas push confusion frequency, no, I don't like all that confusing stuff. Because even though I can understand like the game he playing with the content and all that, he'll try to make you like, if you're not sure, if you're not grounded within yourself, a nigga like Unc will have you feeling confused. You feel me? But when you know thyself, it's like, man, Unc, stop playing with me, nigga. You feel me? But like, to a nigga that's not like confident in himself, he gonna try to defend every point. He gonna try to overwhoop. He gonna try to prove he the smartest. Nah, I went on there and just had a regular conversation with that nigga because I watched a lot of Unc content. You feel me? And he try to emotionally pull people. But when you shut your emotions off, I'm right here. I'm user. You feel me? So, but I realized a lot of people can be controlled by their emotions. I realized that when they was doing the yellow skits. Because even though that was a skit, he was really getting yellow mad when they be crashing out like that. Because some people, like, their brain developed is a little different. Like, they kind of sped, you know? Like, some people can really be controlled by their emotions no matter if you know they baiting you or not. It's easier said than done, though, because, like, I watched his content, so I was familiar with it. But if a motherfucker in the store rage bait me, I might still crash out. I ain't gonna lie.
Tiny island, it looks like
I'm
a
at
much
the point now
longer
where I'm
period.
not, though.
So the Easter Island, these enormous statues, they dug deeper and deeper and deeper and found out that the heads that are above the surface are just
Shout
a
out to
tiny
Uncle.
part of it.
It goes down 30 feet underground. If this thing is only 700 years old, how do you get 30 feet of sedimentation?
Has anybody
Right.
speculated about how much time it would take to cover those Easter Island statues?
Thousands of years
Thousands.
in Shock's view. Easter Island has its own flood myth. They say that there was a huge land in the Pacific called Hiva, and that it was destroyed in a flood cataclysm,
Hiva,
and that there were
Lemuria,
survivors,
Atlantis.
7 wise men, who came and settled Easter Island after this great cataclysm. That's another thing that is found
All of these stories aren't made up. Even if it's not the right name, Hiva, Atlantis, whatever the name is, bro. They can't be making all this shit up.
around the world. It's found in ancient Sumer, it's found in ancient Egypt. And then you have the mystery of the Easter Island script. How come this tiny island, which only ever had a population of a few thousand, did something that is normally only done by big civilizations, which was create a written script? And it's written on wooden boards, which nobody can interpret today. It bears some curious similarities
Nobody can interpret that today, but y'all think y'all know what's going on.
to the Indus Valley script, which is
We don't
also
know
not being
shit.
deciphered.
So the Easter Island,
The
these
more I learn, the more I know I don't know nothing, man. Even when I travel the whole world to put this shit together, it's still gonna take a lot. You need to read this book. Yeah, that book is just gonna teach me everything, huh? But I want to know what happened in detail. I want to know what families changed their name, what periods got reset, who destroyed them buildings, where anti-tech was found, what technology was repurposed that was already existing. Free energy. You had niggas like Nikola Tesla, what's his name? The other dude, Edison, one of the other guys. They tell you about these people, but how you know it wasn't civilizations using this shit, and they don't use dudes like Nikola Tesla as a Hitler? You feel me? Because they ain't gonna tell you it was a whole organization and secret society and family that supported what Hitler do. You think it's just Hitler by himself? You think it's just Donald Trump by himself? You think it's just Nikola Tesla by himself? No, the whole fucking land was using free energy. Nikola Tesla, like, that's what they do. They make these Disney Channel ass characters, bro. I see through this shit. I don't care what nobody say. Oh, do you have facts on that? Yeah, the facts is, nigga, catch a glitch.
Easter Island has finally been revealed. Easter Island is home to over 800 of these
Oh, this
statues.
ain't dark
No
enough.
one knows who made them or how they got there. Initially, people thought they were just heads. However, after digging, discovered there was more. Some of them are over 10 meters tall, which is the same height as the highest diving platform. The strange part is, there would not have been the technology to be able to create these hundreds of years ago. However, finally, researchers have discovered the truth. But quickly, you can actually get V-Bucks and Robux by completing quick online surveys.
Hey, bro, come on, man. You see why it's so hard to watch? Look, I just had a brand reach out to me today, and it was a scam, so I didn't go further with it. The motherfucker booked a call with me, and then didn't pay my fee. And then was like, oh, I'm good. And then when I researched it to the brand, it was just a bunch of bullshit. But you'll have these companies reach out to you to pay. Okay, it says it's paid partnership, but I ain't gonna lie, I didn't even see that. This video from 2022 anyway. But like a lot of content creators, they're gonna push a narrative, like especially when you see like that argumentative content, or like, oh, the problem with ChatGPT, but just download this AI and it's better. Like, you know what I'm saying? It'd be paid promo. So take your emotions out of content creators, please, because this shit is a job. Whoa. Whoa. Why is covering the earth like that? Hey, that looks like a black man right there. You can't say that ain't a black man right there. Nigga flipped upside down. That look like a monkey. Whoa! Got anti-tech, bro. Bruh, you know what that looked like to me? That look like one of them Ant Jets or some shit. The Vidras and the Ant Jets. I could look into that too, but I got too many videos saved, so we gonna go through what we got. Another day we gonna talk about the Vidras and the Jets and the anti-tech weapons and the orbs and shit they be using. I be wanting to get into that, so now I can give it to you. Cause I be watching this stuff on my own.
Easter Island, where these statues were buried on a cliff up to their chest, facing the ocean. It's even been depicted in different cartoons and movies. The reality of the situation is many of the statues on the island are full torsos, and there are over 8,000 people actually living on the island, as opposed to what we used to believe, that the island was deserted.
No good for beginners.
Many of us remember the statues facing outward towards the ocean. However, these statues, as well as pretty much all the statues on the island, face inland towards the villages with the people that supposedly actually live there now. They're also saying that there's been tribal conflicts that toppled over some of the statues.
Oh, wow.
I thought this was the mystery of Easter Island. How are we having tribes on the island as well as people living there now? There are even red hats that sit on top of some of these statues that's made out of a different kind of volcanic rock.
Moors? Fez? Fez?
A lot of people don't remember this.
I never even heard of that.
I did find one fact that says that there's a few statues that face out towards the ocean that are actually looking towards their ancestral homeland, which makes no sense because there were never supposed to be islanders in the first place. Popular belief is that these statues were discovered on a deserted island rather than having 8,000 residents. The only explanation I've been able to come up for these differences is that the old internet was showing us chopped and edited images of Easter Island, and they weren't actually showing us the whole thing, and that modern excavation and modern technology and information sharing has brought more information to our eyes. But a lot of people don't remember hardly any of these facts about Easter Island. It used to be a mystery, and now it's not really a mystery at all. You guys remember the mystery of Easter Island?
I'm still gonna see. This the thing. I went to work this AM at 5:30. I've been up since 3:30. Y'all might see me rolling up every live, but I try to put myself through excruciating dry fasting and points where I'm just pushing my limits, where I haven't drunk water all AM. I ate some little bit of some fruits, but it's mainly the detox period out right now. I'm rolling up, but even before I go roll up and smoke, even though I went to work already and I got blunts rolled, I'm still finna go work out and run and get under that sun and sweat for 30 to 40 minutes, make myself exhausted, do push-ups in 100-degree sun. I'm not saying that's gonna cancel out everything I'm doing, but like, y'all gotta make sure y'all running, bro. Running. I just made a video on this. Like, get your run in every day, bro. Like, it's cool to do push-ups and all that stuff too, but that should come after you're running. You should run first. You feel me? If you pack a
There's
nice
statue
size
on
gun,
Easter Island
run.
that was carved but never erected. It's been nicknamed the Giant, and it would have stood 72 feet tall. For context, of the ones that were erected, the tallest is 33 feet. The vast majority of these statues were carved from a type of soft stone and volcanic ash. It would have required tedious work using handheld stone chisels. Only guesses can be made as to how these statues were erected. Common theories suggest it was some form of rope, wood, and a lot of manpower. Others that logs were cut down and used as makeshift rollers, and the statues were rolled across the island. But in the end, it's just a guess, and just like most things on Easter Island, it remains a mystery. Just like it is for the
We
Giant.
got enough of Easter Island. We had enough.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
We had enough of Easter Island. I ain't gonna lie, one more. We gotta get the brothers in there.
Son of a bitch.
We gotta get the brothers in there.
You think you're
Drink
smart.
a little bit of water.
You really think you're clever. The minute we found out what really happened on Easter Island,
They damaging the stat. That's what they do. They destroying Tartarian buildings to this day. Those are chess pieces from the Giants. Folks ain't make it.
That is actually a good question. Why is that one there and all the other ones are over there? I mean, as you can see, there's a whole bunch of space to put all of them up. What's the difference between these ones up here and the one that was by itself over there? It's something to think about. Shut up! What's the difference? Because they look the same. Something's going on here, guys. And of course, I don't know what it is. That's why I'm asking you. Yep, something for sure is going on over here with these rock faces. People are saying that these used to be.
All right, he's trying to get that. He's just trying to get past that minute. You get past that minute, that's when you get paid on TikTok. If your videos are longer than a minute and 3 to 4 seconds, that's when you get paid for the creator beta program, creativity program. Anyway, because they didn't finish something stopped everything. Everyone? No, everything. If you look at this site, many others from different time periods, as if everything just stopped. Like you got the city of Pompeii, they got petrified. Why are they looking at him? They're at a funeral or an execution, maybe. Yep. I know who those heads represent, but you wouldn't believe me if I told you. Bro, this picture fries me, bro. Because why is there a big ass deity on the land like this, nigga? Big stone, man. Get your big stupid giant ass on, nigga. Big stone. Why does this face look familiar? That face. It's like I seen that shit on a cartoon or something. You are, bruh. Here's my theory. 15 plus 1 is the ultimate shift in perspective. The 15 standing represent the collective structure, but that one line down is a silent witness. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, they did have this episode. Squidward's Tiki Land. What if the Nephilim made them? Who knows? You got a point. I feel like they made them and put them there. Yeah, even after flood, giants existed if you dig deeper. And they was intelligent, so they know how to melt rocks and mold it like clay. The other one seemed to be looking that direction. Maybe there's something under it. I don't know why. At first glance, I thought, okay. Let's go to the next video.
We're going to go look at this more closely shortly, which is about as amazing as it gets.
That's nice.
But apparently they were restored, you know, because they all got toppled over during the war on the island, you know, that virtually all of the Moai were toppled. And what we're looking at right here.
And then, you know what's crazy too? These bitches spread out all across museums like the Olmec heads. These bitches all spread out like they got an Olmec head in Florida.
Located over 2,200 miles off the coast of Chile, one of the most isolated places in the world, we have Easter Island, where the mainstream history tells us that the island has over 1,000 stone-carved massive heads, averaging 13 feet in height, that we are told were probably carved.
Yo, shout out to Lunch Break. He go in. He been going. I've been watching
to commemorate important ancestors from around 1,000 years.
Famous. Hey, that boy famous, Richard, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. You need to stop playing fake woke. Oh, the Jews. He walking up on the Jews. Then you still linking with people to do Instagram promos. You got guns in your house in New York, knowing you're a felon. Why would you even allow? Like, bro, he could have easily just ran up his cloud in New York, ran his ass down to Atlanta, and been able to carry a gun perfectly fine. I think he was a felon though, but I'm not sure. But here's the thing though, right? You're playing these games and you're a felon in New York, state of tiny hat land. That's the only state. New York is the only state where they just be out and about that deep like that, mobbing, nigga. It's called New York, York City. York City, no gun, nigga. So you out here playing with them. You picking their kids up. We the real Jews. You at their establishments. His kids walking by you. Bro, you think they not finna get your ass gone or line you up, bro? What unpaid traffic tickets do we got? What unpaid this? So can we give him any type of warrant? That's the first thing they do. That's what they did to William Cooper. William B. Cooper. They gave his ass a search warrant. He in Eagan, Arizona. They already know he got previous shootouts with the police. And they gonna send 2 off-duty officers in plain clothes at 11:30 at night to serve him a warrant. They know how William Cooper gonna react. This nigga a naval intelligence specialist. He already know he bucking the system. He exposing 9/11. You think he not gonna come out shooting or come out on that? They set your ass up. They create the scenario to kill yourself. Just like how they did YP. They do this shit to anybody. You feel me? Hold on. Let me my light turning
Years
off. I
ago,
got my other ring.
probably,
my other ring.
maybe. And I probably have some questions, and we're probably going to shred this narrative. When self-proclaimed experts, people that were not there, just like you and me, these experts disagree with each other on when the island inhabitants first reached the island, while many in the research community think that they arrived in the year 800, 1,200 years ago. But the 2007 people think that they arrived in the year 1,200, 800 years ago, when those people in the 800s were, of course, master stone carvers out in the middle of the ocean, just to show appreciation to their ancestors, which we all do today, of course. So then the mainstream just skips hundreds of years ahead to the year 1722, leaving out a 900 to 500 year timeline gap. Because nothing important happened for 900 years. And we have this fully documented. No. When 1722 hits, the Europeans arrive, of course, and find these 2,000 to 3,000 people living in the middle of the ocean. And this is when they basically kill them all and rewrite the mainstream history to what we read today. In my opinion, this 1722 date that we are given was more realistically closer to this 1877 date down here at the bottom. Because literally 11 years later, in 1888, Chile annexed Easter Island by forcible acquisition over one's territory. So we have some very trustworthy things happening here. Lots of nice meetings, some great discussions, some murder, and some land takeovers. We have a group of people that now have complete and total control of the narrative. That seemed like a great bunch. A group that we should fully trust and go the extra mile for. And giving this answer would give you
y'all can check out this full video. We're done with Easter Island. Let's head into Mudflood, ancient America, nigga.
History has been totally inverted. Human life started in the Americas but was reset. The world was reset several times. Eventually, so-called Atlantis fell and fractured into factions. After a major reset, civilization collapsed on the West Coast and there was a massive migration east. America is the original Rome, Greece, Egypt, Israel, etc. Rome is Edom. Look at the Doeg Indians of the DC area. Look who Doeg is in the Bible. Edom or Esau was Ruddy. Ruddy
you know what's crazy about famous Richard? He was helping push up Rakai. So Rakai was clouting him up. Like, come on, we can go down there real quick. We can go down this lane real quick, right? Look at this shit, bro. Because I just posted about this shit, right? I didn't know that Rakai left this nigga. Like, Rakai could have helped this nigga, bro. You feel me? Especially y'all that play with the woke conscious content. Famous have been locked for 10 years for playing with them.
I'm tired, man. I'm tired. Oh, King David, yo,
you see how his kids in the background and all that? You think they ain't finna get back on? You not finna disrespect nobody. That's like me. Bro, you not finna disrespect nobody community, bro. Maybe in the black community because we disrespect our fucking selves. And black, okay, I ain't gonna, let's just get past black women. But stay out of the rat community, man. Like they don't fucking respect themselves. So why they respect all my content creators. But here's the thing, right? Because I didn't know that he was super cool with Rakai when he was a little nigga. When Rakai was like 14, 15, 16. This was around the time Kai was cuffing him, but he was still coming up. That nigga got locked up, ain't nobody help him. Rakai knew him too. But here's the thing, you go to New York playing, listen, bro, this dude, bro, you in New York playing around with the synagogue tunnels and the U's and saying we the real Israelites and you doing all this shit and you still hanging around New York trying to do Instagram promos, hanging with drill rappers at the same time?
I think the Jews trying to cancel me. They don't want me to pop my shit. Free Palestine. If I ever get shot, the Jews, they did that shit. They shadow ban my page. Why the fuck they break my page? They shadow ban my page. Why the fuck they break my page?
I'm like, bruh, you moving right. I fuck with how he was moving, but he was moving too loose. He was moving way too loose.
From the Lil Ricks, Talils, the fucking NLE Choppers, nigga, Cal Rich, nigga, all these niggas, bro. Girl, he funnies, nigga, the fucking anybody who rap, stream, nigga, I was just out there fucking with him. I was tapped in with him, gang. Niggas is not, you out of sight, you out of mind, bro. Niggas is not spreading lights in my case. Niggas
it's not that, bro. You fucking with the same niggas that fund them. Okay, so who we say? Ty Lil James, he's under Kai Cenat. Kai Cenat, big name. Ty Lil help you, he's tied to which, now he's connected. Like a Rico. Kyle Rich help you, he support that anti-Semitism. Kyle Rich support you, he supports, and I'm not saying this how I feel, I'm saying this how they gonna play it on you, nigga. Kyle Rich pay for your shit, and you get out and do something, bro. Nigga, stop getting shows fucking with Famous Richard. They slowing your motion. Look, the Jews, they did that shit. He was saying Jews. I still be saying Jews because it's YouTube. But that nigga said the Jews, they did that shit. We the real Jews. He all in their face. He pushing up on their kids. We the real Jews. Once you start doing shit like that, bro, and you in their communities and y'all having arguments and shit, you better not be fucking hanging around. You better go, man. I ain't gonna, I'd rather hang around drill rappers than the NOI and them. They'll sell your ass out too. But you was better off hanging with the Nubians and all them niggas and trying to go find the conscious community in New York if that shit still exists. You was better off trying to find an Signetter. That nigga should have called Signetter, nigga. Man, that shit ain't funny, but he played himself because he was getting all these views. He on top of the world. He getting clout for exposing the truth and being a street nigga at the same time, which is something that a lot of us like. That's a good lane. You feel me? Because you getting both sides.
Hey, I gotta teach y'all about this. Okay,
He did have a lot of nuts doing this shit, but it wasn't for the message. It was for the clout, and the message just adds on top of it. But how can I say that? I don't know his heart. But what I'm saying is like, the only reason why I say this shit because he wasn't prepared for war. So that's how I said it was for clout, because he wasn't prepared for war playing like this. Like, it's cool if you play like this. I'm trolling these niggas, but I'm on point though. Y'all ain't finna trick me. What I'm doing isn't illegal. But you knowing that, like, nigga, you shouldn't live your home base. Nigga, you could have stayed in New Jersey and damn near probably been cool. If nigga went to, I don't know about Delaware, but nigga, you need to maneuver around that bitch, bruh. I feel like niggas was trapped in New York too. Then he was getting shot in the back of his head, lined up by women off Instagram and shit. He got set up by some bitch on Instagram talking about let's do an IG promo. Cause he had beef with some niggas too in the streets. But it ain't nothing for them tiny hats to go to a hood in the Bronx and pay a nigga off to smack you, nigga. What you think been happening since? What you think why you think no successful people stay in the hood? All right, I'm done with Famous Richard. I'm surprised they ain't pull out a 357 and smack him off the land. Exactly. He could have got his ass assassinated for real, and they tried to, but it didn't go right. You need some protein, bro. 115 gallons daily. That's how you fully counteract liquor and weed. Helps you get sober too. True. Yesterday I had some lion's mane mushroom, rice, white jasmine rice, zucchini, carrots, and I had some the flax, the seed bread. You know, the bread that's made out of like quinoa and the flax seeds, stuff like that. I don't got the regular wheat bread, and I put like the brown sugar on it. That shit was hella good. But then after I eat, I always eat some like pistachios and cashews and stuff like that. I got these little vegan potato chips, the Kettles. I always be fucking with them. But yeah, bro, I feel like I like staying lean though, and I fast a lot, and I'm under the sun. You feel me? So I'ma always get that detox. I see a lot of people that drink too, or the weed, they don't sweat. Like I sweat every day. Like after this, I'm gonna go sweat. You feel me? So it's like hey, I remember seeing this shit.
Hey, shorty.
What's up?
On King Dave, where's you at? Why is you hiding? No, BD. Motherfucker, why you hiding? And I'm smoking lil pad.
Who is this?
Who is this? This famous.
Bro, when that nigga said, who is this, bro? He said that like, nigga. Bro, this nigga talk about my condolences. I ain't laughing at the dude that passed. You feel me? But like the way he hopped on there, like he just overknow that nigga. That shit was so funny when I first seen that. I'm like, oh. But it's like, come on, bro. Like, bro, bro. See, I know they gonna watch you get sacrificed. They was all waiting for this moment. This is why Famous Richard has so many followers, because they were waiting for this moment for him to be in the hospital, because he got this one after he got backdoored.
Okay, David, for that page is backdoored me for I love y'all on BD for. Motherfucker just shot me for I love y'all on King.
Somebody said New York sweet as hell. On BD they don't get wild. His words. He said it on it. He said it. New York not like that. I'm from the rack. Well, this is not. Whole time this nigga was in Milwaukee. Not Milwaukee. Fuck, where was he at? Cleveland. Some shit like that. He was staying out the way. You feel me? He was back and forth between like Milwaukee and Chicago, I think. But all that Midwest shit is the same. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I didn't realize how janky niggas from the Midwest really is. Like niggas from the Midwest, bro, you can't sleep on them, bro. Like, you know, the niggas that y'all think that's niggas how y'all think niggas are in the South is how niggas are in the Midwest. Like that shit, they need to call that shit the dirty Midwest. Like, but then it's so many stand-up people there. Like, it's real niggas out there too, bro. But it's like shit get gritty. It just get hella gritty. The South is like niggas damn near retarded. Like, I mean, I ain't trying to say niggas retarded, but like, yeah, man, hey, man, hey, yeah, man, hey, man. Mind you, my folks from South Carolina, so I know all about the South, nigga. Them niggas be, bro, all my cousins, they not city smart. You see what I'm trying to say? They country, they intelligent men. Like, they on point, but I'm saying, like, they ain't hip to shit. They country as hell. They country. You feel me? But like that Midwest niggas, it's like mix of country and in a city. You feel me? That shit crazy, like. Okay, I'm over here thinking I'm on my likes. But yeah, bro, Famous Richard, he shouldn't have played woke. That was a bad decision. He should have just stayed a fake drill rapper. Cause playing woke, that ain't your lane, buddy. And you almost got your fucking noggin walked off. Let's see. I'm trying to get that bubble. I'm trying to get that bubble head.
History has been totally inverted.
Let's jump right in. We've all heard of the 1871 Chicago fire.
Okay, we got the 1800 resets.
How tipped over the candle and burned everything down. They
Wait
even
a
named
minute.
their
Wait
soccer
a
team
minute.
after it. So we've all
Wait a
seen it.
minute.
The Chicago fire.
They said the Chicago fire started because a cow tipped over a lamp? And if that ain't the most fucking Freemasonic knock if that ain't the most Masonic occult knock I'd ever heard, like, what the fuck? Yeah, the cow tipped over the, man, shut the fuck up, man. The cow rolled his pants leg up too? The cow's a traveling man too? I'm tired of this Matrix, man.
Well, one or even two fires.
The cow tipped over the lamp. The fuck out of here, man.
Right? But the Chicago fire was the only city that burned down, right? Wait. Boston burned down a year later?
No cap. If it was the 70s, they would have been on that nigga.
Okay, well, that's two fires. Big deal.
Playing woke and shit.
Like I said, two fires is nothing. Accidents happen. Cows tip over candles.
And that's the thing too, bro. Not everybody from every community,
right?
that's true.
It was the 1800s.
Yeah.
What do you expect? Everything is going to burn down. They didn't have water. Okay, maybe they did have water, but they didn't know how to use it to put out a candle. Well, it is kind of weird. They knew how to build these incredible structures, but didn't know how to put out a fire. Well, whatever. Let's continue. What? You're telling me that Seattle burned down in 1889? Of course.
I went to Seattle.
New York had a great fire in 1835.
Bro, I went to Seattle. All the buildings are mud flooded in the ground. Let me show y'all my page, all right? As soon as I want to start going in, my camera fall. Please stop falling, bro. Like, bro. Did it freeze? Oh, you said the cow was wearing a Freemason Shiner hat? Okay, my shit ain't freeze, but I just have to make sure my camera ain't freeze. What's my play called? Damn, why is I'm just tapping my keyboard. Fuck! I need to have some type of thing where it stand, bro. I just got this shit loosely out, bro. Fuck, bro. God, bro. This shit just chooses when it wants to act. This shit'll work perfectly fine, then shit, all of a sudden, the energy in the air just has the shit falling over. Like, what the fuck? You could have failed at 30 minutes earlier, bitch. This dumbass shit. And I know you alive because everything's alive. So sit your bitch ass up! Told y'all everything alive. The fucking Ring camera fell over. Alright, I'm just trolling. I ain't really mad like that. Okay. So look, I went to Seattle, right? This is my IC Tartaria page. So basically, everywhere I travel in the world, I try to document it like on some One Piece shit. You know? So everywhere I go in the world, I'm going to document it. But when I went to Seattle, right? This was the college.
Okay, so...
You see how they always got construction over the buildings?
I see, it seems like
so you can't really see?
It don't seem like
They got constructions all over the building. This is the college, University of Washington, bro. That's just so beautiful there, boy. Ooh! I wish I was there right now. That shit was fun. But in Baltimore, they got something called Pioneer Square, right? Look at this shit.
I'm in Seattle, you see, that's the Pioneer Square building right there.
Look how that bitch go.
Look about, how many stories is that? More than 20 stories, bro. Built in 1892, by the way. 20
They built that in 1892.
years before that, they was in the mud huts. And remember, there was a great fire in Seattle, too. You gotta remember that.
Right. So, in Seattle, a lot of the buildings are flooded into the ground. Literally. You can see them mud flooded into the ground. Y'all see how, like, look at this. This was in Boston.
It was built in 1849, bro. Cap, bro. They said the foundation, right?
Look at the foundation. They said they added that on later. They said it was just the bottom at first, and then they put that big ass structure on the top. They capped out. This is a building that they couldn't burn down. It didn't burn down. They kept some of the buildings. They didn't burn everything, but shit is crazy. Now, some of the buildings I've been on here, they not that Tartaria, you know, like this. I was in LA. got the Mason building.
You can really look. It's a Freemasonic temple. You feel me? Right in plain sight.
You feel me? All right, cuz let's get back to the video too. Well, this is the part of video too, but let's get back to the other people talking. Y'all don't want to hear me yap about me yapping. Okay, so last video we was talking about the Great City Fire resets. We need more shorter bangers, shorter, quick.
The world
bangers.
around you is a lie, and the history of us has been covered up. We are the new population of the world.
Hey, I appreciate you,
and
King.
a one world,
Shout out, King, man.
unified race of
Keep it
people
peak.
used to exist all across. The Tartarians. They built all these
bad.
buildings that you
I'm
see.
like, bro, we gotta go live every day because I gotta learn stuff too. No cap. I gotta learn more every day. And this is the best way to implement it. We learn together.
And they designed them in order to obtain the free energy from the atmosphere.
Hold on. We gotta go back a little bit.
The world around you is a lie, and the history of us has been covered up. We are the new population of the world, and a one world, unified race of people used to exist all across. The Tartarians. They built all these buildings that you see, and they designed them in order to obtain the free energy from the atmosphere. No matter where you look, you'll find the same thing. People attribute that to design styles and architecture, and the story has been greatly falsified, most likely by artificial intelligence that we know nothing about. But it's clear that if you look around long enough, you'll see that there is much more to this story. What happened? If we did build these, how have we gone so far downhill? Why are the doorways so massive? Why are the old stories of giants being dug up from the ground? Many people say this is the millennial reign of Christ.
So that's what I'm saying. All the religious texts were just depictions of ancient civilizations. So I'm not saying the Bible's wrong. I'm not saying the Quran's wrong. I'm not saying the Buddhist is wrong. What book the Buddhists write? The Tao. I'm not saying they wrong, bro. It's just different perspectives, and you got man perverting the books. But it ain't like God wrote the book, unless you want to say we all got God within. We don't know what happened. We wasn't there. Them structures really existed that were that big. But here's the thing. When people say, oh, it was only melanated people here, and white people didn't come to until 7,000 years ago, it's like black and white ain't real. How we know it wasn't blue-red people here? There was. You can see it on Avatar. You can't make up nothing that didn't already exist. When I think about things like Star Wars, I know that shit real. Just because our current reality doesn't reflect it, that don't mean it's not real.
The Mudflood. What really happened? This wasn't just a flood, it was a reset, a geospiritual purge. Not from nature, from them. The elite bloodlines didn't just erase history, they buried it. Literally.
Hold on, what is geospiritual? I don't even know what that is. What is geospiritual? Geopolitics. It was a spiritual, a worldly spiritual cleanse. I know geo means the world, right? A world soul, a world soul ritual. Fuck you talking about? I ain't never even put them words together before. World soul ritual. So fuck you talking about? Nigga, meaning. That should be the first thing. The name Geo carries deep spiritual symbolism rooted in ancient languages connected to the earth, nature, and human purpose. Origin and core meaning. Geo comes from Greek word meaning earth. Okay. It also has ties to Georges, meaning farmer or earth worker. Okay, it's earth. So it ain't just American spiritual, it's geo-spiritual. Let me chill out.
The mud wasn't water and dirt, it was liquidated memory, a slurry of alchemical reaction, sound frequency, and geo-engineered destruction. This was weaponized Earth. They triggered it using ancient tech, resonance devices, tower harmonics, something like harp but older. It didn't just cover buildings, it silenced truth. Tartaria wasn't a lost empire, it was the empire. Worldwide, unified, based on free energy, ether tech, vibration, sound, water, and sacred geometry. The architecture still whispers it. Star forts, orphan trains, cathedrals tuned like instruments. They were building with resonance, not brick, and that scared the parasite class.
Movies got hella
So what did
symbolism.
they do? They turned the ether grid against itself, hijacked the somatic fields, triggered a resonance collapse. Stone became liquid, mountains bled, the ground rose and swallowed
You
whole
said what is Tartarian built? So Tartaria is what they call the old world. It's just a word. Now, when you look at the map, Tartar or Tartaria is based in Russia, but the internet and social media has used Tartaria as a buzz term to identify old world civilizations that were, if not just advanced, more advanced than the civilization we live in now. So now, I think we're in a type 1, type 2 civilization, whatever. When you think of Egypt, that's a type 2 civilization. Like, when you think about Egypt, how you think of it in your mind, like pyramids and it depends what you've been programmed with, how you think about Egypt in your mind, right? But when I think about the old world, you think about things like castles and free energy and sacred geometry and into every structure and building and bells resonating, and I think it was flying cars and like y'all ever play Minecraft and they got the limestone and all that. That shit was probably glowing, gold glowing off the buildings. The ether's not. I want to hold all the gold. I'm this family. I want to hold 300 tons of gold. No, we're reproducing it on the land, not hoarding it in some underground bunker like some fucking parasite. Fucking bitch. You fucking bitch. That's why they cracked the wand on your casket, bitch. So you got all these fucking entities on the realm, gatekeeping energy, gatekeeping free energy, gatekeeping all type of ancient secrets that can help us activate DNA. Ah! Nope. Go to work. Eat your Starbucks. Niggas think it ain't motherfucking reptilian aliens on this planet. So Tartaria represent old civilization, old world.
That's what the mud was. Not sediment, not floodwater. Resonance fallout from a frequency.
No cap, I'm about to get my passport
The so-called
too.
mudflood appears worldwide. Buried windows, half-submerged doors, cities built on top of cities, perfectly preserved ruins beneath fresh layers of soil.
Yep, and they got a treaty on Antarctica.
It was instant burial. The only force that could do that globally, with precision. Sound. Tartarian cities weren't primitive. They were powered by resonant architecture, buildings designed to generate and receive frequency. Domes, antennas, star forts, giant tuning forks disguised as monuments. These structures didn't just look beautiful, they harnessed free energy, pulled from the ether, distributed wirelessly through geometry and sound. The enemy didn't just want to destroy the people, they needed to shut down the grid. And to do that, they had to collapse the frequency field. There's a phenomenon called soil liquefaction. Vibrate the ground at just the right frequency, and the solid turns to sludge. Not water, not mud, but a state change triggered by vibration.
Wow.
The earth becomes a trap. Foundations fail, stone sinks. And if it's done on a massive scale, you get the mud flood.
Oh,
it didn't fall from the
shit.
sky, it rose from beneath,
That
triggered by
motherfucker said, whole ram shut, whole ram liquefied. Oh, oh, oh. I'm just imagining that in my brain, like, nigga got hella anti-tech weapons and shit. Nigga hit the fucking Guagong big ass boom. Nigga hit the big boom. That bitch liquefied the whole earth. Them niggas probably hit all them bitches at the same time. You in South America. You in North America. You in Europe. You in Antarctica. You in Australia. You in Russia. You China. Everybody hit they big ass bell at the same time. Boom. That bitch melted the realm, nigga.
weapons. This was geoacoustic
Everybody
warfare,
saying,
and it
oh,
worked.
they start dipping.
These weren't myths.
They start getting,
they were acoustic weapons. Tartaria likely had its own frequency defenses. So to break it, the controllers
These
needed
niggas,
tech even stronger.
Dr. Strange,
tuned to
nigga.
the exact harmonic signature of Tartarian architecture.
Hit the
This
kill
wasn't
switch on
random
their ass, boy.
destruction. It was targeted dissonance,
Fuck.
resonant sabotage. Every reset needs a story, a cover, a myth. And so they blamed it on floods, natural disasters, time,
Bullshit.
chaos. They rewrote the maps, changed the calendars, buried the history.
You gotta think about this too. Where did they get the direct energy weapons from? They didn't create that shit. They didn't create no direct energy weapons from scratch. You think one day just had an idea that I'm gonna make a laser pointed frequency weapon? Nobody fucking thinks of that. You niggas found patents. They be finding old technology and just flipping it, bro. You ain't nothing new under the sun.
Literally, but the truth is buried in plain sight.
Hit
The
that
doors
like,
below
man. If y'all
ground,
up in here,
the streets
please.
beneath streets. The melted stone that looks like mud. They call them mud fossils, but they're
Hit that
not
like!
bones. They're entire beings petrified in sediment. Organs, skin, muscle tissue, some with cellular structures still visible under microscope. Discovered in mountains, cliffsides, deserts, often dismissed by mainstream
like me.
science. But look again. Massive limbs, toes, ribs, eyelids sealed shut in
Petrified
stone.
humans.
Caves shaped like skulls. Hills with bone marrow core,
I
mountains
believe
with
this
vertebrae.
conspiracy for sure.
These aren't natural formations. These are
Conspiracy.
corpses, buried, hardened,
Facts.
encoded in rock.
Petrified
and they
giants,
all point
nigga.
to one thing. Something enormous died suddenly and was flash entombed in mud. How does living tissue turn to stone? Answer, rapid
Earth.
mineral replacement. Usually takes eons, but under the right conditions. High frequency, sudden pressure, saturated
If that
iron-rich
nigga got up,
sediment.
start running,
You
nigga.
get
He
instant
went, oh!
petrification. It's the same tech used to make
That nigga got
artificial
up,
stone
started running.
today.
It's over with.
Except this happened on a
Go lay
global
some
scale
push-ups.
during the mud flood.
Y'all
Fossils
got
aren't
50
dead, they're
push-ups.
dormant, and the system doesn't want you near them. Mythology speaks of titans, beings of immense scale who walked before the age of man. Because if we remember what we're standing on, we remember what they killed to make room for us. Flood wasn't just about Tartaria, it was about wiping the past completely. It was a mass extinction, not just of people, but of giants, gods, original beings, and organic tech. Everything too big, too ancient, too free, collapsed under the weight of a sound that shook the Earth's bones. Then they buried it, rewrote the map. Taught us we evolved from monkeys and that the bones in the ground are prehistoric lizards. No, they were witnesses and they were silenced in stone. And when the resonance wave hit, the energy hit them too. It calcified their cells, turned blood to mineral, flesh to rock, that now we walk on their backs, build cities on their chests, mind stone from their skulls. The Earth's terrain is not just rock and dirt, it's biological ruin. Some hills bleed iron when cracked, like oxidized blood. Some stones release smells, decay, rot, ammonia, when split. That's not geology, that's
Don't ever hit y'all
decomposition.
knees after no
But we're
push-ups,
taught
nigga.
to call it natural, to pave over it, to never ask what mountain that used to be. But some of them, they're still here. You can feel them when you touch the rock, and they remember. After the mud flood, the world was empty, cities with no people, buildings with no owners. Infrastructure intact, but lifeless. Then came the orphans, thousands of them, shipped across continents on
orphan
trains,
trains.
alone, silent, reassigned. But who were they? Where did they come
Incubator
from?
babies.
No parents, no records, no past, just children seeded into the ruins. And here's the
They came
horror.
out that Cabbage
These weren't
Patch,
just
nigga.
orphans, they were replacements. The new population, the post-reset blank slates, told nothing, taught obedience, given names, jobs, uniforms, programmed to forget. Once the cities were empty.
That's why when you talk to our founding forefathers, we're here. My great-grandpa, he was in America. My founding forefathers, we helped build. Why do you think they all stick to the same lie? Because they've been programmed. Just like how they passed down, like shout out to Asir Duke of Tears. Just like how they passed down books like The Hunter. How they hunt black people. How they eat black people. How they put black people in chairs. So that white girl you trying to talk to, her great-grandmother might have a chair of a slave in her house.
The real work began.
Enjoy that
Erasure,
white chocolate,
history
nigga.
rewritten, timelines collapsed, Tartarian books burned or lost, and star forts repurposed as prisons, mud-covered tech labeled as decorative, and the children, they were taught new names, new flags, new gods, new rulers. So
Niggas left
everything
the-
they saw
niggas
was
left
the
alive
remains of
instead
the
of hidden
world they were
light.
never allowed to
Shout out to my
remember.
real niggas in here.
With no elders to tell them otherwise, they believed it. That was the point. They even made a joke of it. Cabbage Patch Kids, babies grown in the dirt, plucked from the earth with no history, no... It was a mockery of what really happened, but
It came
because
out
many
of
of the children were taken from artificial systems, some born in labs, some engineered, some left behind from before the reset,
Exactly.
souls recycled into new bodies.
Cabbage Patch.
Cabbage Patch, try incubator programs, try soul reassignment centers, try trafficking disguised as adoption. The reset wasn't just mud, it was the seeding of a new species of human designed to forget. They don't want you to remember what sound can do, what architecture can unlock, what you're standing on. because Tartaria wasn't fantasy, it was proof that energy can be free, that memory can be encoded in stone, that truth can echo forever through the mud,
Literally.
and that one day someone would remember. You just did. The cathedrals were never churches.
You seen Get
They
Out?
call
They
them
was smiling at
cathedrals,
that
but look
nigga in Get
closer.
Out.
They don't match
Want
the
his soul.
doctrine, they don't reflect the
Want your
era,
soul.
and they don't fit the tools they claimed were used to build them. Giant pipe organs, tuning chambers, vaulted ceilings. These weren't places of worship. They were resonant power stations, designed to amplify vibration, to direct frequency through the stone, to heal, to energize, to awaken. And after the Mudflood, they were repurposed, converted, crosses added, bells swapped, organs silenced. They didn't want you hearing what those buildings used to do. The pipe organ isn't an instrument, it's a vibrational engine. Each cathedral once had one. Massive, intricately tuned, often powered by water or air compression. These frequencies weren't just musical.
I want my
they were
house to look
healing,
like that.
calibrated to the human body, the Earth's
Ooh,
grid,
that shit
and the
just be
ether
so
above.
lit.
When played in harmony with the building's sacred geometry, they could charge water, realign DNA.
I ain't gonna keep pausing because she's smacking right now. But bro, when you go inside of these buildings, like when I went to Utah, I had to climb up this hill to go to the courthouse, the Capitol building. Every Capitol building is an ancient structure. Fuck what they call it now. Go in there, see what it is. You gonna look up and be like, oh shit, it's just marble everywhere. And it make you feel like royalty, like, ooh, like the floor is just marble. You just like, fuck that court shit. Because a lot of people, you don't view America as your land. So you scared to go into government buildings. Look at them, your buildings. So I go in there perfect. I'm like, yo, this shit make me feel, be careful. People be talking about, be careful. Nigga, it's an open government building, nigga. I'm putting a different perspective on it, but when I'm inside, I don't be like, this is Tartaria, y'all stole our shit. When I go in there, I view it as a tourist. Then when I leave, that's when I talk my shit. I know the law. I know what I'm doing. Be careful. Get that weak ass, passive ass energy out of here, bro. I don't like that be careful shit. Fuck you talking about, nigga.
And even open states of
Nigga,
consciousness
be on
now
point,
considered
be tact.
divine. That's
Be
why
a-
they
be
silence them.
dangerous.
That's why many are broken, sealed, or removed, because sound that frees is a threat to control. It was a planetary nervous system
Info
built by the
age, no
ancients,
cap.
upgraded by Tartarians, now fractured, but not
This
dead.
shit falling,
you
bro.
feel it when you visit certain places.
Too much information.
That buzz under your skin, that pull, that clarity, that's the grid. Still alive, still waiting. And the more you remember, the more you reactivate it.
Facts.
This isn't history, it's suppressed technology. And the moment we restore the frequency, the reset ends. Everything in Tartaria
Suppressed
followed
technology.
geometry, not just for
not
beauty,
history.
for function. Buildings aligned to celestial positions, angles crafted to match harmonic resonance, floors tiled with phi ratio spirals, domes that echoed the Schumann frequency. This wasn't art, it was energetic infrastructure. The geometry held the field, stabilized vibration, amplified consciousness, healed the nervous system. You weren't just living in a city, you were inside a machine. And when that machine was turned off, the world dimmed. We called it progress, but it was a downgrade. There's still a network humming beneath your feet. Ley lines, sacred sites, forgotten hubs.
Hold on, I'm about to
It
make
once
this
connected
TikTok.
cathedrals, star forts, towers, aquifers, and monoliths across the entire Earth. Geometries that mirror somatic patterns, polar replacement aligned with ley lines. These weren't defensive, they were frequency catchers, grounding stations, energy collectors. Some even believe they tethered into the etheric power grid and redistributed energy across regions using water and harmonic pressure. After the flood, most were buried, destroyed, or converted to prisons and forts. Because if you control
And
the
post
node,
offices.
you control the flow. They silenced the cathedrals, they shattered the grid. But they didn't stop using sound, they just inverted
Inverted it.
Now the frequencies aren't healing,
They're
they're draining.
destroying.
Designed to destabilize.
Niggas weird,
Sirens,
bro.
alarms, fluorescent hums, high-pitched appliances.
Bro, these niggas
constant
are
low
weird,
bass
bro.
in cities, 440 hertz tuning standard, Discord disguised as music. You're not just hearing noise, you're being programmed by it. The war on frequency never ended, it just changed pitch. Modern cities don't just look soulless, they're...
Did you see that shit? Y'all see that fucking being morphing through 5 dimensions? I'll be feeling like they got some shit like that just... Once I heard Bobby Hemmett talk about how you could be watching something and it's a middle screen in between,
Like they could be showing something behind. It's called like, well, now what's called like an overlay, like but like an overlay, like
engineered to be spiritually sterile. Box shapes, low ceilings, right angles that deflect energy.
Boring.
Fluorescent lighting
Everything
that drains
drain
your
you.
aura. None of it flows, none of it sings. Your phone emits a frequency, so does your router. Your
That's why
smart
it's hot.
meter, your
It's
fridge,
too
your
hot.
watch. Each one tuned to disconnect you from the grid beneath your feet. This isn't just radiation, it's vibrational hijack. 5G doesn't just spread data, it spreads synthetic rhythm. It overlays the Schumann resonance, Earth's natural heartbeat, with artificial pulse. So your cells stop syncing with Gaia and start syncing with the system. It's not just about control, it's about replacement. They're replacing the grid they buried in with one you can't feel. But here's what they didn't count on. Memory stored in stone, frequency stored in flesh. Because the more we walk the ruins, the more we touch these cathedrals, star forts, sacred sites, the more the signal begins to come back. We hum, we remember, we resonate. People are restoring ancient harmonics, tuning forks, organs, singing bowls, and playing the frequencies that unlock DNA, collapse trauma, realign light bodies. The grid responds. It never left. It was just waiting to be remembered. You're not separate from the grid. You are part of it. Your body, water and
It's from
crystal,
2023
your
gang.
voice,
It's from
resonant
2023
tech,
gang.
your bones, mineral receivers.
Y'all
You
on
were
my
born
dick.
into a silenced world, but your frequency didn't forget. You're here to retune the earth, to walk among the ruins and wake the stones. To crack the spell with your vibration, Tartaria was never
Bro,
lost.
y'all be on my dick. I made a video saying GTA 6 is online is gonna be better than 5M. Nobody says nothing. I make a video saying GTA 6 graphics look mid. Like y'all are some dick suckers, bro. Fuck out of here. I love it though. Like I'm gonna transmute all that energy, goofies.
It's echoing
That
through
shit
you.
is-
And when
it's
we
just
remember
crazy how
how
they
to sing
promote
again,
that, though,
the
like-
mud recedes, the towers rise, and the grid hums once
I ain't
more.
gonna mute my
The
shit, yeah,
old
I still
world
gotta,
didn't erode, it calcified.
Damn.
And now we live among the remains with no funeral, no
don't know about
markers, no mourning. Because they don't want you to ask what happened to them and who did it. You can see it if you look. Pressure, electromagnetic force. The same tech that brought down the buildings, brought down the bodies. A planetary burial, no tombstones, no funeral, just silence. And now, the system builds on their bones, carves their faces into tourist sites, mines them, ignores them, mocks them. But the land remembers. You were told myth is metaphor, that giants were fantasy, that stone is just dead earth. But now you know.
Fact, that's cap.
The ground beneath you was once alive. It held memory, movement, emotion, and maybe it still does. Nothing you were taught about history is true. It's not
I'm
just
still
about
alive.
a lost empire. It's about a manipulated timeline, because Tartaria shows advanced tech, high knowledge,
Let me make
global
this TikTok real
infrastructure in the 1700s, 1600s, even earlier. But where are the records, the wars, the books? They've been scrubbed. The official history, it's stitched together from lies, inserts, and forgeries. There wasn't just one reset. There were many. Tartaria was just the last one that left evidence behind. We were made to normalize the cover-up, taught to revere ruins as if they were freshly built, forced to forget, made to believe we were primitive. But that's the final inversion. They convinced us we were the beginning when we were actually the after. But there's something they didn't account for. The resonance doesn't die. Tartarian buildings still hum. Buried star forts still pulse beneath cities. Cathedrals still hold codes in their geometry. And you still carry the memory. Because energy doesn't disappear. It waits for someone to tune in, for someone to walk the ruins and say, I remember this. And when enough of us do, the grid reactivates. And the controllers use time as the weapon. We weren't just the survivors, we were the cleanup crew. The mud didn't kill Tartaria, it preserved it. The ruins aren't broken, they're asleep. And the next time you touch the stone or feel that pulse under your feet or see a door buried halfway into the earth, don't ask what it used.
Esta inundación de lodo que tuvo lugar entre los años 1830 a
30.
They stay lying about something, y'all. Right here, the secret history of
30.
human resets. I like to call it the Mudflood resets. At least that was the last
Avicados from
one.
Mexico.
Ancient civilization of Tartaria was reset and erased from a mud flood. Look at that shit. Yep, y'all can read it. I'll let y'all read it, get a screenshot. What is that shit? That is a building built on top of a building. Mud flood activity. Go ahead, y'all can argue with me in the comments down below if y'all want to. Because I'm ready. I want all the smoke about this right here. Mud flood activity. Yep, what they do? Just built right on top of it. Look at that shit. Look at it. Look at it. What is that? All right, there's a lot of sinkholes that pop up, right? Because it didn't fill them in correctly. Yep, look at that shit. What is that shit? See? It's some old, big, beautiful buildings. A lot of these places got way more under the earth that we never get to see. Yep. They think we stupid. Nope, we start digging stuff. And you know what? They can't even make structures like they used to back in the day. We got houses now that only last 15, 20, 30 years and they just fall apart. These things lasted thousands. Basically, they can't do it like they used to.
What if the greatest empire in human history is the one we were forced to forget?
For control, guys. You see, we had free energy back then. Without the free stuff that we had, they couldn't control us.
Tartaria. Yet today, history books say it never existed. Architectural blueprints from Paris, St. Petersburg, Chicago, and Tokyo.
Look at them big buildings with some points on top. That was already here.
Cranes, concrete, or electricity. Grand domes, star-shaped cities visible only
ancient
from
geometry right there.
Copper spires and antenna-like towers designed to pull power from the atmosphere.
From the ionosphere. We didn't need nothing.
All right.
We didn't need nothing.
About 500 years ago.
We got a good Mudflood video that was 13 minutes, so we don't have to go over all these extra ones. But I did want to get into the. Oh man, I remember I made this.
There was no Great Lakes on the old maps
like a year ago.
From the 1500s, bro. And it got me thinking about things very differently. Because if y'all know the World War, this is a part of Shaliga, the old Chicago. Before any Christopher Columbus set his stankin' ass feet fallacy story on the lands of America, this been here, bro. Built by a civilization that got killed off. The dreamer, bro, he showed this map of old Shaliga, right? A lot of these lands, the way they were connected, a lot of shit has shifted, bro. That's because they bombed the fucking land. We went through a frequency war like that. Reset, it was more than just spiritual. It was physical too, but we know spiritual and physical is the same thing. But when you see these lakes, like think about Lake Lanier, that was a town. So if they can do that on a small level of just a town and resetting black history, what do you think they did to world history, bro? They blew up fucking cities.
That was a good video.
Let's talk about the most recent mudflood. The New Madrid earthquakes of 1811 and 1812 affected up to 2 million square miles of America. Basically, every area east of the Mississippi felt these earthquakes. The vibrations rang church bells over 1,000 miles away. I'm going off of first-hand accounts here, and the earth was literally turned into waves, shooting columns of sand and other materials up to 10 feet in the air. Large swaths of land sunk up to 50 feet. Entire towns were buried or swallowed in the mud. The Mississippi River rose at least 15 feet and began to flow backwards. Seismoluminescence from the quartz beneath the surface created orbs and flashes of light from the ground. Some claim there was an underground storm or underground thunder or even explosions beneath the surface. The Mississippi supposedly even boiled over. Look.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. This rabbit hole go too deep, bro. I'm damn near burnt out. Like, I might have to start this shit again. Like, I'm here, but I'm not interested no more. I'm losing my attention span is frying. Like, I'm getting I want to relax now. My serotonin is running out. My seriousness of wanting to learn, like, this is the thing I'm gonna tell y'all about, like, having information and overload. We just listen to a lot of information, right? We're better off starting this tomorrow and with a clear mind. And reviewing things we learned yesterday and making this a part 2 than me just slopping the rest of this out. Because I could probably go for another 50 minutes or I could go for however much long. But I'm going to stream again today. But it's so many different topics. What's on my mind right now is so many different topics and content I want to get into. I'm shifting dimensions. Like, I'm shifting away. Like, I'm trying to stay on this. But, like, I'm shifting.